Hi, everyone. This is Ayana, your resident health and life coach and the founder of Thrive and Be Whole. Hello. I'm so excited. You are here today for the webinar, and I am going to, if you just give me a quick moment, I'm going to set up our other social media sites. We're going to be on Facebook and on Instagram too at the same time. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's try this out. Okay. Going live on Facebook, going live on Instagram. Here we go. Hi, guys. Hi, Facebook. Hi, Instagram. Hi, YouTube. Hi, Teachable site. Hello, wherever you are seeing me. I'm very, very excited because we're getting ready to do the Love Yourself to Weight Loss webinar. Woohoo! Okay, round of applause. I'm gonna give folks another minute and a half to kind of catch up and come on in before we get started. And you guys can enjoy Marvin Gaye while we wait. We're waiting for Marvin. Let's listen to Marvin Gaye while we wait. Hey, thanks for joining. Welcome. Come on in. We're taking one more minute to have everyone join while we listen to Marvin Gaye. Well, let me just say, for folks who are on social media, so if you're on Instagram watching this or on Facebook watching this or on YouTube watching this, there's a link in the description. Okay, so if you want to register for this webinar and actually see the slides that are going up and actually, have access to the freebies I'm going to be offering throughout this webinar, you definitely want to go ahead and sign up and register. Okay. Hello, welcome everybody joining. Okay, thank you for the love and the hearts. Hello, hi Facebook. Hi May, hi Latasha. Hello, hi everyone. Hi Instagram. Hi, YouTube. Hi, Teachable. We got a lot of different things happening. I wish you guys could see this set up at my house. It's hilarious. And yes, if you are wondering, I am in my daughter's room. So while we wait for a couple more people to join us, you see I got teddy bears hanging out. All right, we're going to get started in one more minute while we wait for folks to arrive. And again, if you want to be able to see the slides and have access to the presentation part and the freebies, you do have to register to that link that's in the description, okay? Or for Instagram in my bio, okay? Hello. All right, let's give it one more minute and let's see what's going on the Teachable site here. It is such a beautiful day in California right now. So if you're in Cali, hello, the weather is just great. So I thought we could listen to a little Marvin Gaye while we get started. Okay. Body wants in love. Help me. Okay. All right, folks, we're gonna get started in another 30 seconds. I'm just going to make sure I'm going to put myself in the Love Yourself to Weight Loss webinar on the Teachable site. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and get started so I can take questions there. So feel free, as this webinar is going, feel free to ask questions, make comments. This is interactive. All right. Okay. I love this part. Yes. I want to get it on. You don't have to worry that it's wrong. If the spirit moves you, let me groove you. Good, let your love come down. All right, Marvin, thank you for that. We're going to go ahead and actually get started now, sir. Thank you so much. I've been sanctified. Okay, I'm going to have to listen to that a little bit more when I'm by myself. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So thank you to everyone who is joining this live. This is the Love Yourself to Weight Loss webinar. Yay! And I am Ayana, your resident health and life coach and the founder of Thrive and Be Whole. And I'm very excited to present this content to you. Now, I apologize if you do see me looking at multiple screens. It's because I do have a couple of different screens going on. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to kind of show everyone some love. But what we're doing today is this webinar is really, I'm a certified health coach, certified life coach. I'm very passionate about this topic. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my backstory and how I learned the power of body love when it comes to meeting our health goals. So for me personally, it's helped numerous clients and so many others. This is the missing component of your weight loss journey if you're struggling with this, okay? Or if you feel like something just keeps getting in the way, why do I keep repeating the same old habits time and time again? This could be the key for you. Okay. It absolutely was for me and for so many others. And at the end of this webinar, what you're going to see is I'm going to give you access to an amazing, amazing gift. Everyone who participates, shows some love on social media, you will only have access to this if you, again, go into that link in social media and register. So if you're on Instagram, you want to go into my bio. And if you're on Facebook, you want to go into the description. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to have some PowerPoint slides up. This is another reason to register for the webinar if you haven't already, is because you are only going to be able to see the slides if you are on the Teachable website using that link. So again, make sure, oh, hey, thanks for joining. So make sure that you register in that link that's in my bio, or that you register in that link on Facebook in the description. Okay, if you want to make sure you are able to see the slides and access all the content. There's already some free stuff waiting on there for you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Hello, thank you everyone who's joining. Instagram is catching up with Facebook. This is fantastic. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start sharing my screen. Okay. As I mentioned before, if you're just joining, this is the Love Yourself to Weight Loss webinar that is happening and streaming live on social media. So hello. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Again, if you are on the Teachable website, you have access to this. And if you are on social media, you don't. Okay, and if you want to be able to see the screen, you can register in that link. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So again, this is the Loving Yourself to Weight Loss. Love your body now to meet your health goals. Okay, so I'm actually going to position myself a little bit differently. Oh, there's more light. Add a little bit more light so you guys can see me a little bit better. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. Let me just reposition all the cameras here. Okay, hopefully nothing falls over. Okay, Instagram, I'm gonna put you right over here. All right, let's get started. So I gave a little description. Here's what you can expect in this webinar, okay? So the first thing is I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my own story, and especially when it comes to weight loss. And I'll tell you why this is so near and dear to me and how this worked for me, okay? We're also going to talk about what really gets in the way of accomplishing our health goals, okay? And then we'll talk about some practical tools that you can use to help you overcome them now, okay? So things you can take with you tonight. And once again, I want to reiterate, if you are only looking at this on social media, you will not be able to check these out, okay? You will have to register at the link to be able to access all of these goodies that I'm talking about, okay? All right, and then finally, you guys will get a cool gift. I'm so excited about the gift, okay? And if you show some love and register, you will have access to this amazing gift, which I will describe in a little bit. All right, so first of all, I'm curious, if you feel like commenting, what your name is and what brought you here today. So I'm curious. Hello, thank you all for joining. So if you'd like to write down real quickly, what your name is and what brought you here today, or what you'd like to learn about. Okay. I know I'm a teacher, so I recognize this is easier in a classroom. But if you're so inclined to share, you can. I can tell you about what brought me here while we wait. What brought me here was that I went through such a roller coaster journey in my health, and it's now my passion to be able to support people with that. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about Thrive and Be Whole. Okay. So one of the things that my business is called Thrive and Be Whole. And the organization is all dedicated to helping people, overwhelmed and busy people, learn how to make themselves a priority and go after their health or life goals. Okay. So if you're that person who is chronically telling yourself, oh, I'll do this, I'm going to take care of myself after the kids, after work, after whatever, you're kind of my people, okay? Because that is the way that I lived my life for so long, always putting my needs last. And so I'm really excited to be able to help people out with that, okay? I help people with self-care and self-love coaching, health coaching programs, hence this topic, right? Also, life coaching programs. People come to me when they feel like they've put off a goal for a long time and just haven't need some help making themselves a priority. Group and organization coaching, okay? Speaking at conferences and universities. And then finally, another thing that I do that I really love doing is working with educators and caregivers, community organizers, and marginalized groups. So one of the things that I do is I actually support a high school that I used to teach at. And I'd love to deepen my work on supporting educators because, as we all know, teachers need to be well taken care of so our kids are well taken care of, okay? All right, so a little bit more about my story, and if you're looking at the slides, you can see some really interesting pictures. So there is a picture of me, hanging out with my kids. I have 3 kids total. A fabulous stepdaughter who is grown and doesn't cause chaos in the house, as I like to say. Oh, hey, welcome. Thank you for watching. Hello. We're getting a lot. Facebook is showing a lot of love right now. There's also a picture of me with my mom and a picture of me with my husband, who is fantastic and watching the kids right now. Okay. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about me. So I'm both a certified health coach and a certified life coach. Okay. You go, hey, thanks for the comment. You go, okay. I'm the founder of Thrive and Be Whole, as I just mentioned. Okay. I was a public high school teacher for over 7 years and a teacher, I should say an educator for 10. Okay. Community organizer and activist since childhood. And I was a caregiver to my mom for over 10 years before she passed away last year. Okay. The reason why I bring all this up is because clearly, helping to support people is my passion. Okay. I see someone on Instagram said, that's me responding to the people who tend to put their needs last. Got you. Okay. that was me too. And I have to fight against that sometimes too. Okay. So I really am passionate about supporting people and supporting people with their wellness. It's just kind of, I guess, been in my DNA from birth. And, in the next slide, another reason why I'm here and doing this webinar is because taking care of your body is not only important, but it is also revolutionary. Okay, so it fits in line with the theme, where supporting ourselves and taking care of ourselves and being healthy is very revolutionary in our society. Okay, so if you're not looking at the slide, I'll show you. In the society of physical maladies and major health issues, taking care of yourself is revolutionary. We know that. How many people do we know who have preventable diseases and illnesses and things that could have been avoided or lessened due to lifestyle, right? Okay. Now, okay, so the percentage of American children and adolescents who are considered overweight or obese has tripled. Let me say that on both social medias. Tripled since 1970. Okay, that's crazy. In the past, how long has it been since 1970? 40 some odd years, right? Tripled. More than 70% of adults in the US are already being diagnosed with a chronic disease. And more than 75% of the nation's healthcare costs are being spent on managing and treating these conditions. Okay, so this is huge. This is 70% of us chronic diseases. Okay, so this is really a problem. So it's good news and bad news, right? The bad news is obviously this is an epidemic and this is really messed up. The good news is that enough of us are also understand each other and understand the struggle. I see, thank you. Yeah, the reactions are crazy, right? So that definitely means we need to do something about it. Okay. So again, one more plug. If you want to register for this webinar is being streamed online and is totally free. But if you want to be able to see the slides and see the pictures that I'm talking about, because I'm getting ready to describe my weight loss journey. So if you want to be able to see that and have access to all the freebies and gifts, you should register in the link. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go into a little bit more about my own weight loss journey. So if you're thinking, I'm definitely, 70% of us struggling with chronic health issues as adults. And, I'm definitely one of those people. So if you can, I'm going to talk about these pictures for those of you who can't see them, I'll describe them. But there's a picture of me on the left when I was about 100 and, wait a minute. Why am I about to give the actual number? I don't think I can remember it. I was 30 pounds overweight, 30 to 40 pounds overweight. And what happened was this. Before we get into adulthood, I got to, walk you down that road, a little bit of childhood and backstory. So from the time when I was a real little kid, when we're really, really little, as most of us are, we tend to be really footloose and fancy free and not thinking too much about our bodies. We just tend to just naturally be healthy and, and work out, and exercise and play the amount that we need to and eat the amount we need to. That was my story until I got to middle school. And then all of a sudden in middle school, I started to put on weight because I started slowing down in my physical activity. There's a variety of reasons for that. My parents really encouraged me to do sports, but I got out of shape and I just really hated running. So unfortunately, since everything involves running, I didn't want to do any sports. And so I'd start a sport and stop and start a sport and stop. And as I got to be more and more overweight, I started to feel more insecure and less like, and that really really made me feel really anxious about showing my body or running around doing physical activity in front of, that was my alarm, excuse me, in front of other people in a gym class. So I really fought against working out. And a lot of us can relate to that, right? Now that we're older and adults, whether it was in childhood or whether it's now or whether it was at a certain point in adulthood, all of us can relate to that feeling of feeling like inadequate physically or like we've lowered our standards in some way. And I definitely had that. And then what ended up happening is that in high school, I discovered that I liked the gym. So I started to work out a little bit. And, and I started to be in shape, but not really eating the right foods. I was kind of, in shape for my 20s, right? Work out when I felt like it, and then, but eat whatever I wanted, however the wind blew. And I was definitely what you call a stress eater. So I would definitely eat the worst foods when I was most stressed out. And especially like, in teaching, if any of us have stressful jobs, stressful life situations, right? Kids or whatever else, I'm seeing a lot of likes. I would eat junk and I would kind of justify it to myself. Well, I work hard and I deserve it. At the end of a long day, I would love to crack open some chocolate, right? And so as a result, my weight was kind of up and down and all over. But the one thing that was consistent is that I never fully loved and appreciated my body. That just goes without saying. When I was quote unquote in shape, I worried about gaining weight. And when I was overweight, I obsessed about losing weight. So as many of us can understand, so I had this kind of roller coaster pattern. And then what ended up happening, hey, thanks for watching. What ended up happening is, I have this picture of me here at like 30 pounds overweight. Had my first biological baby, Kai, who's now 4. And what happened is like living that stressful lifestyle, being a new parent, a brand new to baby parent, and being a teacher at the same time and navigating the changes in the relationship and all of that meant that all of a sudden I was eating whatever, right? Like it was all about the stress. I was stress eating. Oh, and also too, I was taking care of my mom at the same time. This was part of the caregiver phase. So I was just eating whatever was convenient, excuse me. And then so what ended up happening is that by the time, I was 30 pounds overweight and my husband and I decided we wanted to have another baby. So that means putting on even more weight, right? So what ended up happening is that by the time we got married, and you guys can't see this, but this, if you're on social media, you can't see this, but there's a picture of me in the middle here where I'm a good 40 to 50 pounds overweight, 6 months pregnant, like uncomfortable as hell in my wedding dress, trying to get married. And, doing all the tricks that people do to try to cover up the fact that they're overweight. So, I have long hair. I was trying to position my hair to cover up, parts that I felt uncomfortable with showing, hiding behind my sister in the picture so that I'm kind of at an angle. And, just really feeling uncomfortable in my skin. And then finally, the picture on the right is me now. This is a picture that I took a year after that wedding, 40 to 50 pounds lighter. And it's crazy to say that, but I was able to lose 40 to 50 pounds and I've been able to keep it off. Now, sure, within a couple of pounds here or there, but I have been able to maintain that lifestyle for, almost 2 years now. Okay, so if I could do that, yeah, we all can do that. I'm telling my story to say, I've been up, down, and all over. I've definitely spent the bulk of my time hating my body. And so if you're in that place or you have been, just know I got there, so you can too. Okay. Oh, and one more thing I want to add about that too. I am both Black American and Haitian. Okay, so I come from Caribbean and Black Southern roots where we love to eat and we love to eat good food. Good, but maybe not always the healthiest. And so if I can overcome all of that food stuff, we all can, okay, and eat better. So here's the thing on the slides. Why do we struggle with our health goals, right? So that's a little bit more about my story. We all have our stories and our journeys that we could tell, that we could exchange back and forth, right? And so here's the $1 million question. Why do we struggle with our health goals, right? We all know logically what we need to do: eat better, exercise. So then what is the struggle? So here is where I want to take a moment to kind of like ask you all a question, okay? So if you had a health goal that you weren't able to fully meet, what got in the way for you? I'm gonna give you guys like maybe 30 seconds or so to kind of respond. And thanks again for all the love, Facebook. Hey, and Instagram too. So what are some things that kind of got in the way? And I'm also going to check out the Teachable site. So while you're thinking about that, I also do just want to things that kind of got in the way. I'm getting a little feedback here. So if you are in the Teachable site, okay, then what you'll be able to comment on the page here. And again, if you're on social media, or if you're on Instagram or Facebook, you can use that link in the description to get access to all of these freebies and be able to see the slides and all. Okay, so thank you for commenting. I got a comment. Food got in the way. Yes, absolutely. And an emoji of a hamburger. Okay. Woo, boy is like, yes, absolutely. Food. And we know in this country, they sprinkle some type of crack, AKA sugar, right? And it's really hard to break. That is a super hard habit to break. Okay. And absolutely, that was a huge thing for me. And if I can crack that, we all can, trust me. Okay. Now, so here are some, if you're looking at the slides, there are some external things that get in the way. Here are the most common things that people say get in the way for them. Okay. The first thing, kids. Okay, there's a picture of kids just because that's top of mind for me. I got a 4 and a 2-year-old. But, kids can represent something else, right? Family, loved ones, responsibility. Okay. It's very, very, very hard when you have a lot of people, people that you take care of, to find time for self, right? The next thing, to-do list. We have everything in the world on our plate. Okay. You are doing a million and one things all the time. Don't think I don't know it. Okay. So of course you struggle or have time or feel like it would be hard to meal plan. Okay. Also lack of time. That's common thing that comes up all the time, right? Lack of money, right? That idea that eating healthy has to cost a lot of money or has to cost more than eating at a regular, or eating junk. Okay, lack of energy. This is a big one too. Who has time at the end of a long day? Who feels like they can actually sustain it? It's tough, right? And then responsibility. Okay, responsibility is a major, major, major thing. You guys deal with so much. So absolutely food is cracked too. Thank you for that comment. Okay. Now, those are the things that we say get in the way, and those are important and valid. But here are, when we actually let's scratch below the surface just a little bit, we go a little bit deeper, what we find is that there are some deeper kind of mindset issues and blocks that are getting in the way. So the first thing is guilt. Okay. Guilt, feeling like I'm not enough. Okay. Feeling like, I'm just not enough. Like, who am I to go after this goal? Like, I'll never have the so-called perfect body. I'll never be able to get healthy. I'll never be able to fulfill my health goals, right? Okay. No help wanted. I don't want to ask for help. I don't want to look weak. If I reach outside of myself, that means I can't do it on my own, right? And our society has just going back to that, our society has a very real pulling yourself up by the bootstraps complex. And sometimes we don't realize all the ways that that's showing up, and it especially shows up with health goals. Okay. Another thing, a really important thing, fear. Good old fashioned fear, right? Fear of not being able to accomplish the goal, fear of failure. Okay. Shame. Woo. We're gonna go deeper into shame. But shame, body shame, shame at like having tried before and just failing, quote unquote, over and over and over again. And I like this little picture, this little guy. Pressure. Pressure. The pressure we put on ourselves to get it right, get it done, and do it perfectly. Okay. And then finally on here, perfectionism, okay, which goes hand in hand with pressure. But those of us who feel like we have to look perfect, we have to have the to-do list perfectly checked off, everything has got to be perfect, perfect, perfect. And that's me. I'm not judging because that's me. All right. So here are some of the most common fears, right? Let's going back into fear because fear is a huge thing. Fear of failure, as we talked about before, fear of rejection. Okay, fear of being rejected by people if you don't look a certain way or if you're not meeting up to their standards in some way. Fear of feeling like not enough, as we discussed before. Fear of being an imposter. Okay, so if people really knew what was under the surface, if people could really see my body or whatever else is going on, they would reject me, they would talk about me, they wouldn't accept me. And then fear of the unknown. What does this mean if I start meal planning? Does that mean I have to give up everything that I love? What is behind that door? Okay. Now, okay. If you're on the Teachable site, you're probably going to like this slide. If you're on social media, you're going to miss a little eye candy. So sorry. But if you register, you can check it out. So this next portion is all about like the unhealthy, abusive relationships we've created and we've been programmed to build with our bodies. Okay, so now this, I love this slide. It's got, a little bit of male eye candy, a little bit of lady eye candy. But this shows images in the media that we have been taught are perfect. It's actually really interesting. I found this image of what women consider to be the perfect man. Okay, this was one study. They said Brad Pitt's hair, David Beckham's face, Hugh Jackman's biceps, Ryan Gosling's torso, Frank Lampard's legs, etc. Right? Then you have the Kardashians on here and other ladies and also all beautiful people, and there should be nothing taken away from them. But the statistic should be brought up around this. 80% of women polled hate some part of their body. 80%. And only 18% of men said they liked their bodies. Only 18% of men. That was a surprise to me. So what's interesting is the vast majority of us are dealing with major body image issues. Okay. And as we talked about before in the slide, right? The things that can get in the way of accomplishing goals are shame, right? Body shame, hating on yourself. And so if you're fitting within these categories, it makes sense why it'd be hard to accomplish those goals, right? Now, here's the thing though, okay? While all of these people are beautiful and gorgeous, if we've been taught that if you don't fit into this mold, whether it be via color, I'm a Black woman, I don't fit into these molds that are on these images of what is acceptable in our society or what is attractive in our society. Body wise, I may not fit that, and you may not as well. And so if you don't, it can cause us again to have more shame that works against our health goals. Okay. Now, here's another important thing. Now, this is a study that I thought was really interesting. They did a study about like perfectionism, but perfectionism as it relates to women in particular. Now, this is really interesting, okay? A US survey in 2009 found that women are also more likely than men to experience feelings of inadequacy at home and at work, and that many felt they had not met their own high standards. So another thing that can weigh against our health goals is perfectionism, and it looks like it affects women more than men, right? Doesn't mean it doesn't affect men, but it affects women at a higher rate, right? And then also, get this, the desire to be perfect starts at a young age. So research in the UK found that 1/4, 25% of 7 to 10-year-olds, 7 to 10-year-olds felt the need to be perfect. I'm sorry, 7 to 10-year-old girls. That's crazy. 7 to 10-year-old girls felt the need to be perfect. Okay, something's wrong with that. And then also, the other thing too is that perfectionism can be linked to anxiety and depression and so many mental health issues. Okay, they did studies about this, and that especially when it comes to women. So they found that a study of 28.2% of 16 to 24-year-old girls have a mental health condition that can be linked or traced to perfectionism. Okay, so this is huge. And 25% of women aged 16 to 24 experience anxiety, depression, panic disorder, phobia, and obsessive compulsive disorder. All mental health conditions that are linked to some form of desire to be perfect. Okay, now, as someone who went through anxiety and depression, I can relate. I call myself a perfectionist in recovery. So you can see where if you're trying to accomplish any sort of goal, but especially a health goal, where all of this stuff can start to play against that. Okay. Now, here's the thing. If you're struggling to lose weight and or get healthy, it might just be your attitude, right? And no wonder, with everything we've just discussed, with all of the things that are playing against us, it's no wonder that we would be struggling with our attitudes when it comes to our bodies, okay? So here's the thing. Let's get into this then. So that was a lot of depressing information, but important to know, right? We've talked about perfectionism. We've talked about, body hate and body image issues and how that affects your health goals. And now let's dive right in about why we actually need to change our attitudes about our bodies. Okay. So this is why we need to turn the tables around. Okay. So here's why you need to forgive your body and find acceptance. Okay. And once again, I just want to remind you this part right here, the next couple of slides are getting ready to, are available again for people who register for the webinar. So if you're in social media, Instagram and Facebook, I love you, but register at that link so you can get the freebies. Okay. All right. So here's the important thing. When you are trapped in self-criticism, getting healthy is the hardest thing to do. Okay. Now, I also put in parentheses here, like academic goals in school. So for those of us, like I know a lot of teachers, and there's some teachers who are on this right now. If you're not a teacher, you may, then I'm going to give you a little teaching example here, right? Teachers have seen this a lot when it comes to their students. I used to tell my students all the time that the difference between an A and an F student is not that one person is smarter than the other. Okay. It's typically a lack of self-belief. Okay. Let me say that again. The A student and the student who gets an F, there's not that one is more intelligent than the other person. And intelligence is a hard thing to measure anyway. But students a lot of times feel like there's something wrong with them. And so do we. But there's nothing wrong with you. Okay? If you are not accomplishing your goals, it's probably related to your attitude about yourself and how you perceive yourself. Okay? So a student who this is how it happens in school all the time. If you're in a classroom, let's say that you're in a math class and you feel like the material is too hard, you don't say anything because you feel like it'll make you look stupid. So you don't understand the material and you continue and you let it go by. And you submit, you turn in an assignment and get a bad grade on it, or like a C or a D or something, and you don't get help. And you continue to act as though nothing's wrong. And the next thing you know, you start to pull further and further away from the class. You fall further and further behind, and you get further and further away from the class because you feel like you're stupid or there's something wrong with you. Okay. The A student, on the other hand, might get a C on an assignment, but what they typically do is they go ask for help. They go seek out help from someone, right? Okay. So it's just a difference in action and in perception. All right. So it's the same thing. When you are trapped in self-criticism for your body, getting healthy is the hardest thing to do, similar to that student that we just described. Okay. Now, when you forgive your body and you find acceptance, you also free yourself from self-criticism. This is huge. Okay. And it's all a part of accomplishing your health goals. It frees you from shame. And as we talked about, those are the things that weigh you down. And as I talked about with my story, right? My story of weight loss. And I told you how, like, in a year, I dropped 40 to 50 pounds. Okay. Now, it wasn't because, again, I didn't take some miracle diet pill, whatever. I did the work. But what happened is that I started focusing on loving myself and loving my body and accepting my body and working on that relationship. And the next thing you know, it wasn't so hard to keep up with these goals. It didn't feel like the weight of the world when I was trying to wake up in the morning to go to the gym. Okay. So sometimes if you have that feeling like, oh man, I'd rather just be in bed, it could be that you're tired, or it could be that you have shame and guilt and fear weighing you down. So here's the important thing, why you need to forgive your body. Ooh, and I love this quote. This is a fantastic quote. Okay. Hey, thanks for joining, everyone. Facebook is lit right now. So here's why you need to forgive your body. This is a fantastic quote, and I forgot what DP stands for. But again, if you want to see these slides and see where all these quotes and studies are coming from, you can register in that link below. And again, you'll be able to access the freebies too. Okay. So if you've struggled with your weight or getting healthy for a long time, it may feel hard to like or even love your body. When you feel at war with your body in this way, releasing weight feels much more difficult than it needs to be. Anger, shame, and self-hatred add an emotional heaviness to what may already feel daunting. Okay. And while the weight release journey holds challenges in the best of situations, these challenges lessen when you develop a more loving and respectful relationship with your body. Okay. And that's true. That's what happened for me. I went from years of roller coastering up and down and being all over the place. I'm like, why can't I be consistent? To like just working on repairing the relationship with my body. And next thing you know, it was easier for me to take action. I was not beating myself up so much when I made my mistakes or missed a day or ate something that I shouldn't have, quote unquote, right? It was so much easier to get back on the horse. Okay. Now here's another good one. Here's why you need to seek forgiveness from your body. So we talked about why you need to forgive your body. Here's why you need to get seek forgiveness from your body. Okay. Now understand that our bodies are amazing and naturally and divinely programmed. Now this is an important point. If you can accept this truth about your body, this is going to be half the battle. Okay. We are the products of thousands of years of evolution and fine tuning. Okay. Just like every animal and plant that is on this planet right now. It's amazing how when you turn on like Discovery Channel or something else and you look at nature, you'll find these animals that are perfectly suited for their environment. You'll find like, oh, there's this amazing fish that is like on the bottom of the ocean that is flat with both eyes on the top of it, on the top of its head because it's like it just lays there and catches its prey like that. It hides under the sand and catches its prey. That's crazy. It evolved over time to get to that point. Human beings are the same way. We have been finely tuned over time to be amazing. Our bodies tell us exactly what they need when they need it. We know when to go to the bathroom, when, our lungs breathe air for us. It's amazing how much our bodies just naturally do it without us having to consciously think about it. And so with that, understanding that when it comes to dieting and getting healthy, we've been working against our body's natural rhythms. We've been working against our natural hunger and our natural, what's the word I'm looking for? Cravings, right? So we've been taught that appetite, there's something wrong with that. And we need to avoid appetite and stifle it and suppress it. And there's so many diets now where it's like, don't eat only 800 calories. And so what happens with that, we've been taught these starvation practices and lack of exercise and movement, and these are all ways that we abuse our bodies. And there might be harsher ways where we abuse our bodies, but we definitely need to seek forgiveness for that. Understand that our bodies know when they're hungry and know what they need when they need it, and know that they need the energy. We just have to recognize and relearn those signals if we've gotten out of touch with them. Okay. So if your body starts feeling hungry every 2 to 3 hours, but you try to ignore it or suppress it because you think it's going to be better for your health, it's actually not. Okay. So snacking, but eating, it's just eating good quality foods when your body says it's hungry. Okay. Here's another reason why you need to seek forgiveness from your body. Okay. Because it allows you to be in partnership with your body. Okay. Your body is your homie, your best friend, your ride or die. And your body is the only thing that's going to be with you from the beginning till the end. Right. So it helps to be in partnership with your body, not working against your body. And your body has helped you get as far as you have and accomplish everything that you've accomplished. And as we talked about before, it unblocks you so you can accomplish your goals. Okay. If you are fighting with your BFF, with your best friend, I guarantee you there is blocked energy there. Okay. You need to unblock yourself so you can reach your full potential. And when I was able to work on the relationship with my body, it was amazing how many professional things opened up for me too. I just felt more self confident in every area of life. Okay. So it's not just health stuff too. Right. So now what we're going to do is this. Okay. Now we're going to get into some practices that help to release body shame. Okay. So we've talked about it. We've talked about the things that you need to do. Let's talk about some tangible things that you can do right now. All right. So the first thing is listening to your body's rhythms. Okay. So this is really, really important. Okay. So, oh, you know what? Let me just pause for a quick second. Does anybody have any questions or comments or feedback? Anything that's resonating with you, you can go ahead and just write it down in the comments as we're going. And I promise I'll take a moment to acknowledge you. Okay. Let me see about the folks in the Teachable site. Excellent. Okay. Perfect. All right. I'm a teacher. Can talk and talk and talk. So feel free to stop me if you need to. Okay. Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining. So as we talked about before, we talked about, all of the things that get in the way of losing weight and getting healthy. We talked about how shame and guilt and hating on our bodies is detrimental to reaching our health goals. And we talked about why it's so important to forgive our bodies and get back in love with our bodies again. Okay. And how important that is for accomplishing your health goals. And so here's the important thing. Here's how we do that. So the first thing is, as we talked about, listen to your body's natural rhythms. Okay. So remember, your body is powerful and knows what it needs already. Your body is the result of thousands of years of evolution and refining. Thousands. Okay. It knows what it's doing. We abuse and starve ourselves all the time. So when we fight our body's natural hunger and we don't pay attention to our fullness, we are constantly overriding our body's messages. So if we just kind of slow down and focus on what our bodies are actually telling us and when, listen for those hunger signals. And it's actually when I went to health coaching school, one of the key things they told us to do was, start planning for your meals when you're at like a level 2 on the hunger scale. If the hunger scale is at a 1 out of 10, and 1 is like not hungry at all, and 10 is I'm so hungry I'm gonna like kill the next person I see and eat them. Forgive that image, but you get the idea. Okay, then you're starting to plan for your meals when you're at like a level 2 or 3, way before a lot of us tend to do it. I used to be one of those people who was so busy and going all the time that I would eat when I was like starving. And that's usually when we fall into eating the wrong things or the things that are not going to nourish us as much, right? Okay. And then when it comes to being fullness, you want to be at a 7 out of 10 on the fullness scale. Now, I come from people who love to eat and eat big portions. And so this was a hard one for me. But it's slowing down as you eat and eat until you're satisfied, not stuffed. Okay. All right. And so here's the other thing that's going to help too. So when listening to our body's rhythms, here's a little quote. Your body loves you. Love it back. Okay, I love that quote. Okay. Now here's another important thing. Forgiveness. We talked about forgiveness and how to get there. So forgiveness equals peace of mind and it equals helping you achieve your health goals. Okay. They're actually doing studies about this nowadays. And they actually found that, in certain groups, when they asked a control group versus like a group of people, they just asked them to be more forgiving and they assisted them with what that looked like. They didn't change their diet or anything else. But they found that when forgiveness levels rose, levels of stress went down. Pretty simple, right? So it reduced stress and in turn it led to a decrease in mental health symptoms and issues, right? So all of these things that we talked about, taking care of your mindset and your mentality is so important when it comes to taking care of your body. Okay. And then finally, gratitude. So here, this is, when it comes to practicing gratitude, it is important to show gratitude for our bodies and ourselves right now where we are. And if you can't see those slides, I capitalized right now, no matter what. I don't care if you are having chronic health issues. I don't care if you are like the most overweight you've been in your life. I don't care if you can hardly walk a block. Yes, well, I do care because that's tough. And that's important and valid. But have gratitude, practice gratitude for your body and how far it has gotten you. Okay. Yes, you may not be on the best terms with your body, but I promise you that if you show gratitude for where you are right now, that's how you will start to clear up some of this negative energy we have when it comes to our bodies. Okay. So practicing that gratitude right now, saying, okay, my body, I may not be happy with where I am right now, with where we are right now, but I do recognize everything that you've done for me and allowed me to do to this point. Thank you for allowing me to go to work every day and be able to pay for the bills or be able to thank you for allowing me to be alive to this point. Thank you for allowing me to love. Thank you for allowing me to accomplish this goal or this dream. Fill in the blanks. Okay. Okay. And then the cure against our society, social media, and other negative voices that make us compare ourselves to others and hate ourselves. When we show gratitude, social media, we all know it's very easy to get sucked in and look at other people and compare ourselves and our lives and our bodies, right? But we know that that's detrimental. We know that comparison and shame and guilt and beating ourselves up is no good when it comes to accomplishing our goals. So gratitude really helps you overcome that. You're like, how can I overcome that? Practicing gratitude. And there's a tool coming after this slide in just a moment. Okay. It increases your self love and confidence and gives you staying power. So again, it wasn't that I want to say this one thing. When I was at my heaviest and I had just given birth, I could barely move or do anything. And I felt really heavy and out of sorts. But one of the things that, when I started working on my relationship with my body, it was crazy. I was able to start from square one and give myself permission to start from square one. I started out, just being able to do stretches, and that's all I could do. And then I worked my way up to doing some stretches on the floor. And then I worked my way up to walking a couple of blocks. And then I worked my way up to progressively, like walking a little bit further and walking more and online workouts, and to the point now where now I can run 6 miles comfortably. And all of that, it wasn't because, again, there was no magic pill. It was working on my mindset and practicing gratitude for myself and for my body. Okay. And so it was every day perfect? Absolutely not. But it gave me the staying power. And then here's the appreciation of everything that we've learned from every situation. So again, you may not be happy with the journey that you've been on with your body. You may have a contentious relationship with your body even, but just recognizing that there's growth and that we learn something from every situation. Okay. And here's another important thing. So again, I'm looking at slides over here for those of you who are just joining, and you can click on the link in the description or in my bio on Instagram so you can register for this webinar, have access to these slides and all the freebies that are getting ready to come up. I'm getting ready to talk about this in a second. So excited. So reframing things as obstacles versus opportunities. Okay. I love this. We have a tendency to think of, weight loss as like an obstacle. I'm heavy, I'm overweight by X amount, and I was 40 to 50 pounds overweight. Okay. So I know, I know the struggle. But if we look at it as an obstacle is something that stands in your tracks and stops you from moving forward. An opportunity is, okay, I may not like where I'm at right now, but there's growth in this situation and I have the power to move forward. Okay. So obstacle versus opportunity. Here's some questions to ask yourself. What have I learned from this situation? How has it helped me grow? Okay. To transform it from obstacle thinking to opportunity. Ooh, okay. Hey, I see a quick request here. Oh, just one second. I'm going to hold your request for just a second. You want to be in the video? How awesome. I've never gotten a request for someone to be on the live video, so I'll pull you up in just a second. I take it you may have a question. Let me just go into this. So again, if you want this is the freebie, part of the freebies that I've offered people who've registered. So these are journal prompts that help you release shame and build self-love, okay? So if you have a pen and a paper with you, you may want to write these down. Or again, you can just quite simply register in that link, and then you can have access to these freebies. But the first prompt is a journal prompt that I use to help work through, when I was dealing with a lot of depression and anxiety, when I was working through body love issues, right? So these really helped. First of all, you want to talk to yourself the way you would talk to a best friend or someone you care about, right? Typically we're nicer to other people than we are to ourselves. Okay, so just have that in mind when you're writing. Now, the first prompt you want to ask yourself you want to write down the mistakes that you made that you want to forgive yourself for. Okay, so I forgive myself for X because I know that Y and I intend to do Z. Okay, now let me say that again for those of you who can't see the slide, but that's an example of how you can fill that in. So you can, if you're doing a forgiveness prompt, you're going to say to yourself, sometimes people have a hard time forgiving themselves, so that's a tip on how to do this. I forgive myself for eating that whole cake by myself because I know that I was really stressed out and overwhelmed, and that's a coping strategy I've learned to deal with over a lifetime. I intend to try and discover and figure out what was stressing me out so that next time I can make a better decision, right? So that next time I'm not using that as an automatic stress response. Okay, do you see how that works? So I forgive myself for because I know that, and here's what I intend to do. All right. Here's the second prompt. Okay. Things I did that remind me of my strength and beauty. Here are the things that I'm proud of myself for. Okay. So these are the things I'm proud of myself for. Okay. And you're going to write down, I'm proud of myself. I don't care how small or how big it is. I'm proud of myself for cooking my meal last night and for making it as healthy as possible, for including a lot of fresh vegetables, right? And then here's the third thing I am grateful for, okay, or thank you, body, for. So I'm grateful for having a community of people who support me. I'm grateful for a friend who's going to walk with me once a week. I'm grateful, whatever it is, small on up to big, okay? And then here's another thing too, another reason why you want to go into the slides. This is on the freebies. So again, if you're on social media, you're only seeing me talk about this. It can be a little confusing to remember all of this. But if you log into that link, then you will be able to access all of these freebies so that you don't have to remember them, okay? Now you're going to write a letter of healing to your body. I love this one, okay? And it frees you from self-criticism, frees you from shame, And here are the prompts for that letter, that healing letter. This is a great one. Okay. Here are 3 prompts for that. This is what you're going to say to yourself, to your body. I forgive you. I forgive you, body, for. Body, please forgive me for. And body, I want to thank you for. I love doing this exercise with people. Clients tell me that this is like the most impactful, one of the most impactful exercises I do with them. So once again, I forgive you, body, for. Body, please forgive me for. And body, I want to thank you for. Okay. Write as long as you want to on this. The first time you sit down to do this, you may write 10 minutes, 20, 30. The first time I sat down, I wrote an hour. I had a lot to say. And you might be surprised by how much comes up. I was apologizing for stuff in like elementary school. Okay. So definitely, using this will help you a lot. Oh, and then also, I'm so sorry. There's one more prompt I want to add to that. Body, I love you because. Feels good just to say it. I love you because you're awesome and you've kept me going all this time and you helped me do XYZ. Okay. All right. So here finally, I'm learning to love my body. So this is on the slide. If you can't see this, it is on the slide, but this is just a little write up that someone said. I forgot where I got this from, but it's on aimhappy.com. This is great. I'm learning to love my body. A great quote. I'm learning to accept, love, and appreciate my body for all the life it has allowed me to live. My body and I are on the same team. I'm willing to forgive myself for any attempts to treat or use my body lovelessly. I choose to see my body as a conduit for love, not hate. I grant my body permission to be respected and loved. And I give my body the mission of spreading light into the world. Whew. My happiness is not dependent on my appearance. That being so, my appearance in the world and my presence here on earth is now one of joy. Okay, not bad, right? And then there's also another little quote that I love. This is a shorter one, but it's to the point. This is an excerpt. And I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. Ooh, it makes you feel good inside, right? Okay, so these are just an idea of like when you do this work and you work to forgive yourself, I promise it'll help your health goals exponentially. Okay. This is one of the most forgotten things, one of the most overlooked pieces of the work. But if you want to have that lifelong change instead of just up and down and all over the place and keep it real, like I was in places where even if my body I was supposedly in shape, I still didn't feel good. I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop. So if you want to avoid that and just finally have that love and peace that you had when you were a kid, or that most of us had when we were kids, you can do this work. Okay. And so here, this next slide is great. It's got some funny images on it. But so what else can we do, right? What are some final things that we can do? And I'm so glad you asked because I am going to just for a second here, I'm going to share my screen with the people who are watching this on the Teachable site. Again, if you're not on the Teachable site, if you're on social media, definitely check out the links. That link in the description and in my bio so that you can register and get this. Even if the webinar is over, you can still go for this. But you're going to want, this is the freebie that I was talking to you about and that I'm so excited about. Okay. So I have an online course. Woohoo! And I'm so, so, so excited about it. It's called Lose Weight and Feel Great Without Dieting or Drama. And all of the principles that we've discussed here are exactly what this course is all about, but it's within six modules, so 6 weeks of work, okay? And what's powerful is that this course is in beta. I just assigned it, and there's only like a handful of people who have access to this site so far. And I desperately want feedback about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm offering a crazy, crazy, crazy deal for a couple of days only to the people who've checked out this webinar. Okay, because I want you guys to be able to continue on with this work and find what you're looking for, but also get that healing and learning to love your bodies at the same time. So you're not on this roller coaster, and so you don't hate your body, right? And you can get off that roller coaster because it feels so good now. So if you're on the Teachable site, you can see I'm sharing my screen. I'm showing what the online course looks like right now. It's called Lose Weight and Feel Great without the dieting, without all the drama. Like, who needs all that drama, right? And the tagline is to stop sabotaging your health goals and lose weight once and for all. Okay? Once and for all. Okay? So here's the thing. When you go to that page, there's more of a description about it for people who are yo-yo dieting up and down all over. Okay? And it talks about my story, which I've told you about, the yo-yoing and the up and down. And but it's the whole purpose of the course is to change your mindset and change your habits and change your life. As we've talked about, these things go hand in hand. And so you got to, if you really want to make lifestyle change instead of just yo-yoing up and down in your weight and still hating your body in the process, if you really want to have a solid relationship with your body, this course is designed to help you lose weight and do that at the same time. So when you go onto the page, you'll see there's some testimonials from clients and people at speaking events. And also, what's great too is you'll get to see the class curriculum. You'll get to see all of the 6 weeks of training. There's over 20 videos of support here, and it's amazing. And then when you scroll down, there's frequently asked questions. And here's the even better thing, right? This course, normally, what I intend to charge for it is $197 just for the course, because it's 20 videos. I put a lot of time and blood and sweat and tears and joy into this course. I love it. It's my health coaching program, just like in an online course format. But it's normally $197 for that online course. But because it's in beta and I want to get your feedback about it, let me go back to my slide here. I am opening it up to people for $49.97. That is ridiculously discounted and low, right? But it's because, part of what I want you to do is you get access to the online course. You'll have the 20 videos, over 20 videos of amazing content, all the resources, the handouts, the homework, the assignments that I give you, all crafted by me with love. And, just all I want from you is your feedback. All I want from you is your honest feedback about the course so that I can figure out, what needs to be tweaked and all that. So you get something out of it that you want. And I also get something out of it that I want, right? And then the other thing too is that I'm offering, there's a little typo on the slide. It says core, but it's just a course. Now, there's 3 different options for this course. That was the first one, just the course, the online course. The second option for the course ordinarily costs, I'm back on the online course, ordinarily is $397. And that's for unlimited email messaging and 30-minute check-in sessions with me, 2 of those. Okay. And I'm also adding in a new thing. This is the coolest thing. I recently became acquainted with this system called Coach Connect. And it is an app that connects me with my clients where you can be connected to your goals. You can track your goals and your progress on Coach Connect. And I can create a custom plan for you, right? I can help you create a custom plan. So you get that plus the online course. Ordinarily, all of that would be like $397, right? But if you sign up today and over the next couple of days, you will get that for $69.97. Okay? That's like $300 off, right? More than that. So it's down $69.97 for the full course. You get unlimited email messaging with me. You get access to that Coach Connect app where I will help guide you, right? And you'll also get on here, I'm changing it 1 to 2 check-in sessions with me, depending on what you need. Okay. It's amazing. 30 minutes of those. All right. You'll get unlimited emailing to me up to 6 weeks after you start the course. That's huge. Okay. There's no way you can lose. And then finally, what I'm calling the full enchilada is you'll get the online course and the complete coaching support. This is 1 month of coaching. Okay. This is 45-minute sessions. Okay. 4 45-minute sessions with me weekly. Online course, unlimited email, Coach Connect, and 4 coaching sessions, 45 minutes each. Okay. Ordinarily, all of that is $750. That's the normal price that I'll be charging for this. But because again, this is in beta and I want your feedback, if you sign up in the next let me see here. Let me look at the deadline that I put on here. I have a deadline on the website. I'll tell you that in a second. But if you do that, if you sign up in the next couple of days, you pay $197 for all of that. Let me just tell you, a month of coaching with me is ordinarily $400, right? So this is like a massive, massive, massive win. Okay. So I invite you, if you've ever, if you've ever wanted to take an online course, and especially when it comes to your health and like losing weight, and right now is the perfect time to do it because as we all know, April is like starting to get a little hot. Okay. It's hot in here. So for those of us who want to get healthy and feel our best by the summer, so, if you're like me and you used to feel uncomfortable in your skin and you were worrying about every outfit and feeling like, oh, dreading showing an arm, check this out. Okay. Ooh, Instagram is telling me I got like 30 seconds left. So Instagram, I'm gonna have to go. Check out the link in my bio to register so you can get more info. You can comment if you have any questions. I'm gonna have to say goodbye to Instagram in a moment. Okay. So, and I'm gonna put up the coupon code. So you gotta register in order to get those coupon codes. Okay, so I'm gonna say goodbye. Hey, thanks for joining. And bye, Instagram. I'm gonna have to go. Facebook and Teachable site, you're still there. Register at that link if you want to join us, okay? Perfect. All right. So Instagram is off. It apparently has a time limit. But for Facebook and everyone on the Teachable site, um, you know, if you want those coupon codes, again, you got to register in the link that is in that description. Okay. So if you check it out, if you're on Facebook, if you're on the Teachable site, you're good to go. You're looking at the coupon codes in front of you. They're directly in front of you. If you're on Facebook, just go to that site that's in the description. You will be able to register. Okay. So with that, I appreciate you all so, 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 so much. And if you have any questions, I will take just 1 minute to give you guys any questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen with folks on Teachable. And, maybe we should play a little more Marvin Gaye while I see if anyone has any questions. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. You guys all know I'm obsessed with Let's Get It On. That's my favorite Marvin Gaye song of all time. Okay, so, in conclusion, I forgot to say one thing. You deserve to take care of yourself, okay? How well you take care of yourself says a lot about how you value yourself, okay? So, definitely value yourself. You deserve it. And especially if you're worried about price on some of these things, this is the time to do it. Okay. You'll give me great, valuable feedback. You will be helping me out. You'll be helping me perfect this course. And when this deal goes away, it's going to go away. That's it. So take advantage of this pricing right now. Okay. Marvin, you may play us out. Let me go back to, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that folks on Teachable can see my face. Hello again. And hello, Facebook. Let's see if there's any comments or anything. Thank you for all the love and the watches on social media. Got a little wobbly here on Teachable. Okay. Thank you for all the love. I really appreciate you guys. And if you have any questions for me, you can always put comments on the Teachable site or on Facebook. And again, register. Click that link so you can take advantage of these deals. Okay. You got this. All right. Oh, and for the Teachable people, it's in the webinar site right there is the button where you can sign up for the course. Okay. It's underneath this video. You'll see a button. Click on that link. I believe it says sign up or something. Okay. Sign up for the beta course. So click on that link. Okay. And Facebook people, again, if you register for the webinar and you go in there, so it's free to register for the webinar. You don't have to pay anything. If you go into the Teachable site, you click on the button underneath this video that says sign up for the beta course. That's how you will get the discount. Okay. You got this. Thank you all so much. Have a great night. I got to go relieve my husband who is babysitting. Good night.